prepared yet.
You need to try and pick off the units as... Look at the shields on the mark.
Oh my god, the drone's gonna take this!
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back, and we have game 2 for you guys between Millennium's Diestar and Complexity's Drewbie. Drewbie taking game 1. He will be spawning as our green Terran in the top right-hand corner, and in the bottom left, we have his opponent Diestar as the purple Terran. The map is Crossfire, and I think we're going to see some heavy World War I style tank action here, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, it is Crossfire. That means these Xel'Naga towers control a ton of tight little choke points and ramps. Tanks are very, very powerful here in any matchup. By the way, folks, this is Cast Pajamas with Pain User. Hope you guys have enjoyed our casting so far. And yes, indeed, Crossfire is the game. The question is not, are these guys going to produce tanks? It's really how many and how effectively are they going to use them?
You know, we're going to have to think of a name for ourselves. You know, there's the Casting Archon. We can't be the Casting Archon.
I think it was someone on Team Liquid said that Cats User, and I actually think that's hysterical.
The Cats User?
The Cats User.
I can dig that. I can dig that. I can work with that. It's better than Pain Cat. That's for sure. Neither player really up to anything just yet. I don't think that we will see that same gasless 1-Rax FE out of Drewbie, just because it's a little bit more risky on this map, and then also you leave yourself much more vulnerable to, and both players dropping their gases right now. You leave yourself much more vulnerable to some kind of a gas-based push.
Yeah.
Assuming that you do go with the gasless, a player can do a Marine tank Banshee push on you, a Marine tank medevac push with early siege, and on a map like this, there's virtually no way to prevent something like that if you're doing a gasless, so it's just not that safe at all. And then also, Reapers are so good on this map, just for controlling both of the Xel'Nagas, and then also just for that added scouting information. There's 3 different avenues into the bases, but just primarily for holding the Xel'Nagas. Reapers are so good on this map.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And the map control is of the essence here because, I mean, it's extremely difficult, especially with the relatively immobile Terran army, to escape the vision of the Xel'Nagas. You just have to fight kind of World War I trench warfare style and take control of those, and that's kind of the gains you make on this map. Diestar is going to send up 1 Marine now, and he is going to go right back into a Tech Lad barracks, so he is going to start with that Reaper. Factory already coming up for Drewbie. He has not started his second gas yet, and if he's planning to do some sort of a tank push, he'll have to start that pretty soon.
Oh, 2 Marines going head-to-head in the middle of the map, and it looks like Drewbie's going to get the best of that engagement. He will live to fight another day. 3 hit points, going to get out of there, head back to base, but this Reaper coming out for Diestar will be able to very easily kill that low HP Marine and possibly kill another Marine or 2. I doubt it, though. By the time it gets over to Drewbie's base, he will have 3 or 4 Marines for certain, and he did get that much earlier factory because he did not get a Reaper, obviously, so able to get that factory 50 gas earlier. And Diestar has not created a factory yet. He went for a very quick command center, and just now adding his 2nd and 3rd Raxes. He is up to 150 gas now almost, so I feel like his build is just not optimized to the fullest here. He hasn't started doing anything with that gas yet. He is getting a 2nd Reaper out, so he's probably going to do a little bit of a timing push here. There are a ton of Marines and a Hellion out on the field for Drewbie right now, and Drewbie, I feel like, really has the superior army. Diestar does not have anything to deal with this, and it looks like this Reaper might get caught out in the middle of the field, and it is going to get taken out, and now he only has a handful of units back at his natural to defend here and a single bunker, but it's not going to be up in time.
No, it's not at all, and Drewbie comes in right away. There is the 1 Hellion out. There is also a Marauder following this. That's going to be able to tank some shots. That Reaper is going to have to move back. He's sacrificing a couple of his SUVs to go ahead and buffer the damage. I actually don't think he lost one there, though, so nice job with control, and of course he does have the 2nd base, so will be able to reproduce quicker. There, the bunker does get done, and that's going to drive off the rest of the units. Gets done right in time.
It does indeed. Perfect timing right there, and Diestar bringing out just the necessary amount of units to hold there. That was very important. Drewbie could have gone for a run by there, and I think maybe inflicted a good amount of damage in the main, but that Marauder came out in a very timely fashion, and, you know, Hellions and Marines not in small numbers. Marauders just a great tank for those types of units, and that starport has gone unnoticed. Drewbie will be following this up with a Banshee after the medevac here. He's looking to ferry some of these units straight into the main. I don't know if he's going to pick up any Marines. He looks to just be content with sending those Hellions in there. Stim is not done yet. There is no concussive shells, so is Drewbie going to pressure the front and try and run by this bunker with the Marines and possibly drop the back at the same time? No, he's just going to go with the drop here. Diestar all over that.
Yeah, Diestar is really, really aware right now, and he also has a ton of units sitting back in his main anyway, so these drops are going to do little to nothing, and it forces Drewbie to pick up right away again. Now he drops down his Hellions. Once again, not really sure why. Diestar does run in with a couple of these SCVs, though. Will get those killed. Only one Hellion has gone down. Drewbie did not run his units through the front, though, so this bunker has not taken any damage, but still, I don't think that's enough damage done yet for Drewbie to justify the cost of this infrastructure. He's really going to have to get a lot of damage done with this Cloaked Banshee.
Yeah, I mean, Drewbie still hasn't dropped a second command center. He's just playing this one base style, and there we go, just now dropping a command center in his natural. He is going to go ahead and try and drop the main once again here, but Diestar, stimming his entire army right there. I don't know if I agree with that at all.
No.
It didn't seem necessary, and, I mean, why stim all the Marauders there? That was just strange, but maybe he was worried they potentially had Blue Flame now, which would have made them a much bigger threat, but he does not have Blue Flame. He invested all of that in Cloak and this Banshee here. The Banshee headed into the natural right now. First turret is just about to go down for Diestar. He's adding turrets. Those are going to be so important in fighting this off, but that Banshee coming in right now. Cloak is just about to finish. It is done now, so he's going to be able to work on the SCVs, killing this building this turret for quite a while now.
Yeah, and it looks like the scan does go down. That's going to push the Banshee back. No, the Banshee just engaging those Marines, but now the missile turret is done. We see another 2 missile turrets being put up as soon as possible for Diestar. He's trying to get whatever he can done here, but Drewbie's actually delaying over at the natural, not really doing a lot of damage, and that's going to allow the rest of these turrets to get up for Diestar.
Yeah, I feel like Drewbie could find a sweet spot with that Banshee. There it is. He needs to move in a little bit closer here. Be a little bit more careful. Okay, yeah. And the scan goes off, and he will be able to pick off that Banshee.
Wow.
And Drewbie, you know, not getting enough done with that Banshee to warrant the amount invested here. One thing Drewbie does have going for him, he already has a tank out. He's building up a small bio ball here. He does have Stim as well, and that one medevac. So the eventual push from Drewbie is going to be pretty powerful here. He does have a second tank now grouping up. Combat shields still not finished, but then again, oh man, and this Viking is just ruining his day. It's going to be able to ward off that Banshee immediately. Wow. There's a second turret up now for Diestar as well, so he is completely defended against the Cloaked Banshees now. Doesn't really have anything to worry about in that regard. We do have a pretty sizable push coming up here for Drewbie, and surprisingly enough, Drewbie, I think, has the superior army right now. He is going to be able to set up a position above the natural, assuming he wants to push that far. He's just hanging out at the bottom Xel'Naga tower right now, not really doing any kind of aggressive... Oh, and there we go. Now starting to move down from the Xel'Naga tower, and he's going to set up on that high ground. And Diestar is going to be hard-pressed to hold this off.
Yeah, absolutely. This bunker's already taking a lot of shots. These tanks are already sieged up as well, and Diestar's not going to be able to advance into that, nor is he going to be able to continue the repair of that bunker, as that siege tank is going to be able to neutralize a lot of those.
Drewbie right there. Doesn't quite kill it, but almost. Maybe one more Marine, and he would have been able to take out that Viking, which would have been crucial, because that Viking is allowing him to maintain air superiority, and he can continually repair that. And that will prevent the Banshee from spotting. And oh my god, pulling some SCVs here. It looks like he is going to go all in on this, and he's going to take some heavy losses.
He is, but he's doing a lot of damage to Drewbie's attacking force. 2 of the tanks have already been focused down. The third is going to fall pretty quickly as well. Diestar retreating with his SCVs, and it looks like he is going to break this position. Drewbie is pulling back to yet another siege tank, however. These Marauders are taking so much damage. They do the brunt of that, then they have to back away. Let's take a look at the economic situation. Diestar still up by 3 workers overall, and he finally has his first tank out. Does that neutralize the numbers? No, Drewbie's still a little bit ahead, and Drewbie doing a nice thing by setting up a second factory and taking the third here in the top left. if that goes undetected, his siege tank production is going to be absolutely great.
I totally agree. I think that Diestar did come up pretty big right there, though, able to reduce Drewbie's siege tank count to 1. Drewbie still has this aggressive position, though, and it's just so advantageous for him. He's holding on to that Xel'Naga. He's controlling the bottom half of the map. He's really dictating where Diestar can move his units, but Diestar, if he continues to kill these small groupings of Drewbie's army, and it looks like he is going to engage here at the Xel'Naga, stimming all of his units and heading in. Drewbie not going to be able to get out of there in time, is going to lose both of these siege tanks at the minimum, and Diestar continuing to press forward here. Might stim again, and we do have another engagement going off, and Diestar getting the best of this. I think he is going to come up here. No, the tank in the back actually coming through for Drewbie. This is so close.
And it looks like he finally does break the position, but those tanks were so valuable back there for Drewbie, doing so much damage. Take a look at the army tab now. Both players, let's see, Diestar has a little bit of an advantage in terms of army value, but he has pulled a larger lead in SCVs. Drewbie was not continuing with that production the whole time. More worried about dropping down the mules here at the top left. But importantly, that command center is done, and he is going to have 50% greater mule production at the moment. So his economy looking just fine.
Yeah, he does have a chance to catch up here. I feel he is a little bit behind right now, certainly in terms of military, possibly in the economic game as well. But with that third command center, over the next few minutes here, he's going to have an opportunity to catch up pretty quickly. I'm actually surprised that Drewbie didn't go for the gold immediately. I'm surprised Drewbie didn't go for the gold immediately, because he did have an opportunity right there while he had control over the bottom half of the map, and muling on that gold just so important in this matchup. The first player to take a gold really gets a huge advantage, and Drewbie might lose this Banshee here. No, he will keep the Banshee alive, and he is going to be able to prevent the third from going down for Diestar. He's going to pick off these SCVs, prevent these turrets from getting up. This Banshee will go down, however, to these Vikings, and that command center is going to float in there to the third for Diestar. So Diestar not too far behind, getting his third just a few minutes after Drewbie, and it looks like Drewbie is going to head down once again and try and take back that position that he's been so fond of this entire game, but Diestar coming to meet him in the middle.
And with that superior production and that economy there for a while, Drewbie did actually pull even in supply, and his army is even larger than Diestar's at the moment. Composition tells us he's ahead by 4 tanks, but he has significantly less medevacs. So if Diestar can force an engagement when Drewbie is unsieged, he will come out in the better of this, but Drewbie is in a very nice position. Looks like Diestar is planning just to run around here. He's not even going to engage these tanks head on. He's just going to make his way off to the right and try and threaten these and pull Drewbie's forces out of position. So
what a bold move from Diestar here, just cutting in straight to the natural. I don't know if this is going to work out for him. He is killing a ton of SCVs right now, though, and Drewbie pulling the SCVs from his main as well. Going to lose almost all of them, and Diestar just doing so much damage right now. I don't know if Drewbie's going to be able to recover from this. That was a horrible blow to his economy and his army. Diestar losing his entire force, but I think it was more than worth it.
Oh my god, he is down by 43 workers now. 43, and Diestar is finishing up his third orbital command down here at the bottom right, which means Drewbie is not going to be able to outpace Diestar in economy. Diestar is just going to be able to continually reproduce, whereas Drewbie is forced to produce just 5 Marines at a time right now because he has to support the SCV production and can't worry about his mining all that much. We have 11 Marines at a time coming out of Diestar, plus tanks. Drewbie sieging himself up again. He does have that tank force to fall back on, but Diestar, if he finds another engagement like that, he is going to obliterate Drewbie's forces.
Wait, how many Marines are coming at a time?
11.
11! I was waiting for that again. Oh my god, look how many upgrades we have coming out of Drewbie right now. We have weapons 2, armor 2, and vehicle weapons coming for Drewbie. I don't know if, like you said, interesting choice. I don't know if that's really his best course of action right now. He doesn't have the army to really benefit from those upgrades right now, and he just took such a hard hit on the economy here. And now this is where the infrastructure is also going to hurt Drewbie, because he has no turrets up from earlier on in the game. These drops are going to be able to run freely, and this one at the natural going to do so much damage here, taking out mules, SCVs, forcing him to pull, and I don't think Drewbie can afford to be losing this mining time right now. It's so crucial for him.
And this was a cute little move, too. Diestar actually left a couple of Marines down here just to pick off a couple more units and force Drewbie's units away as he moves up with another force of Marines. Fortunately, he's not going to find much production going on here, but he'll start to focus down a few of these supply depots, continuing to do damage.
He's also denying all of the gas mining at the main, killed a bunch more SCVs at the main. He is just absolutely picking Drewbie apart right now. His army is getting so much bigger. Drewbie attempting to take the gold right now. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold that position there. It's possible, but, you know, Diestar in a position right now where he can continually drop. He has so much freedom on the map. He doesn't have that many tanks, though. I'd love to see Diestar add a second factory, maybe even a third factory here. He might actually have 2 now at this point. We haven't checked his infrastructure for. Okay, so he does have 2. I would love to see him add a third factory. Floating 900 gas at this point in the game, and he might get caught a little bit out of position here. 2 tanks up in front, going to get taken out immediately, and that is not good for Diestar. He's already down on the tank count, just getting farther and farther behind, losing little engagements like that, but he has so many medevacs, and wow, loading up all his medevacs and going straight for the natural here. I think he might actually be able to kill the orbital outright and get out of there in time before Drewbie can react, and Drewbie really needs some missile turrets.
And Drewbie is trying to move back right now as fast as he can because he sees this coming. A lot of damage being done to that orbital. Command dies immediately.
What a
Diestar
snipe.
picks right back up and moves away. All the mules that were there, all the production that was there, gone 100%. Drewbie did manage to get his SCVs away, but yeah, the base is gone. He's only transferring some SCVs down to his gold now, and now he's
they're
supply
going to
capped.
go right back into the main here. Drewbie getting played a little bit here, kind of like a fiddle. Moved his entire army back to the natural. You know, Diestar just doing a great job of controlling the ebb and flow of the game right now. He's basically forcing Drewbie to move his army, and now Drewbie moving his entire army to the main to deal with this. Diestar could actually take an aggressive position in the middle of the map, and wow, it looks like another orbital might go down. No. Dropping a mule to repair that, gets it down to 70, 50. Did not burn down. And yep, using this opportunity to take a position at the North Xel'Naga, and this is just absolutely horrible for Drewbie. It's going to be so hard for him to take this position back, and this is just setting Diestar up for a beautiful, beautiful engagement.
Absolutely. Look at the way Drewbie just streaming his forces in one by one right now. He's going to sit up right underneath these siege tanks. They have already done damage. One tank from Drewbie has gone down. Oh, the gold falls, and he's pulling all of those units back into the siege tanks. Drewbie going to lose all of his Marines.
Goodness. That was, I don't even know what that was. That was a lot of Marines dying.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Civil War, maybe?
Yes, I think so. Charge!
Right?
Yeah.
the invention of the cannon is almost what that looks like right there. We have Marine body parts flying all over the screen. I believe there might be one last guy in there.
See? Oh, there's a couple.
The flag bearer.
Oh, man.
Anyways, Drewbie, you know, just getting a little bit outplayed there. Diestar really just played a phenomenal game.
Yeah, certainly. I loved his approach the entire time as well. You know, we were expecting this to dissolve into tanks versus tanks positioning, more things like that. Diestar kind of skirted that engagement. All he was doing was, you know, he had the very slow tank production. He was able to pick up his units, do key drops that pulled Drewbie out of position, and just use his more mobile army to that advantage. I mean, that was beautifully played.
Yeah. I mean, I said it earlier. He almost played him like a flute, but... did I say fiddle? I believe I said fiddle.
I think fiddle.
Fiddle.
It's good. No, we like it. The analogy's good.
Some kind of minstrel-esque instrument. But yeah, it was the drops really that did it for me, and also the fact that Drewbie opened up with those Banshees actually worked against him in multiple ways. Not only was Diestar prepared from it, not only did Diestar take virtually no damage from the Banshees, it also set him up with the infrastructure to have all those turrets going into the mid and late game. So all drops, eventual drops from Drewbie were just completely null and void, and Drewbie not having any turrets of his own was so vulnerable to those drops in the mid and late game that Diestar had free reign at the natural, he had free reign at the main, and was able to kill both those, or no, he killed one orbital, almost killed the main orbital, but yeah, that was just irrecoverable. So The series is all tied up, and we are going to be going to a third game here. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned.